Hi, I'm Steve Sando from Rancho Gordo, New World specialty food based in Napa, California. And we focus on food that's indigenous to the New World. And the basis of Mesoamerican cooking before the conquest was chilies, corns, and beans. And these are three things that intimidate most home cooks. They're also incredibly healthy. And a lot of people really probably want to make fresh tortillas. They want to make them at home. Unless you have a grinder, it's really not possible. There's a process called nixtamalization, where you take corn, soak it in cal, rub the skins off, and then you grind it. And that's the optimum way. But even in Mexico, it's not really practical for the home cook. So most people now use a product that's very modern and called masa harina. It's second best, but it's still much better than most commercial tortillas you're going to find in most stores. And it's incredibly easy, so I just wanted to show you how to do it. I'm going to eyeball this. If you have a perfect amount, that most packages will have, they're going to vary a little bit with how much to use. I'm just putting some in the bottom of the bowl, and then I'm simply going to add some lukewarm to warm tap water. Some of the packages will say to use warm water. I would heat the water in a pan first rather than take it straight out of the faucet, but I'm going to leave that up to you. The best description for how you want the dough is Play-Doh is kind of really where you want to be. Now, originally I thought I had put too much water in, but as you keep going, you'll see there's still some powder, and you basically want to make sure it's all integrated. And I think we're about there. Want to get every last bit because I'm a frugal person. So you've got a nice ball, and the next thing we're going to do is put it into little golf ball size, smaller balls. And this, you don't need to work this. This isn't like baking bread, but it's nice you can mix it a little bit more if you need to. And once you really get good at this, they're all going to be the same size. Now, I've made a big ball, so obviously I'm having friends over for dinner, but if you want just to do a small bit and make tortillas for two, it's really not that much trouble. It's easy for me to say though, huh? There's lots of different, now, of course, in Mexico, if you are an 80-year-old grandmother, you're patting them by hand in minutes and you have this fabulous flat tortilla. But for the rest of us, we need some kind of tortilla press. If you go to any Mexican markets, specialty websites that specialize in things Mexican, you'll find a tortilla press. This one is a huge, heavy metal one. They have them of wood. If they're pine, they're pretty much useless. If they're plastic, they're pretty much useless. But these heavy ones are great. And if you can find a wood one of mesquite, that's best of all. But that's really for a more dedicated tortilla maker because they're about $70. I think these are about 20 if you see them. All right, so I can keep going, but just to show us, I'm going to save this for later. This would last in the refrigerator for about a day if you wanted to save it. But it's so easy to make it, I think you should just make as much as you need. All right, so now let's give this tortilla press a workout. We've got the hot skillet all ready to go. I'm going to take a perfectly round ball, put it on the bottom, and I've got it between two pieces of plastic. You can use different kinds of plastic bags. This one's just from a vegetable bag, so don't go to any trouble. Put that one on top. Push this down, the handle, and the ball's gone to a perfect circle. I tend to like them a little thinner, so I do it twice. And also, they seem to be a little tighter, thinner at the place where the joint is. So we're going to do it twice just to be safe. But the problem is if you do it too thin, they're going to stick. So this is the part where most people get really nervous. Now, what do? So I have my open hand, I take the tortilla, and I do a little patting sound to pull it away. And then here's the tortilla. And it's possibly sticky, depending on how much liquid you had in it. The next step that's really key is to very gently put the tortilla. The temptation is to want to just throw it, but that actually is going to give you some weird lumps. So you just really gently want to lay it down so it comes down to one flat motion. Then we're going to wait. So what happens is, just so you know, you're a complete loser if you turn your tortilla more than 3 times. That's pretty well known in Mexico. So we're going to wait for the sides to kind of pucker up, and then you're going to turn it 2 more times, and just so we get nice brown spots all over them. And it's almost happening now. I have asbestos fingers, but probably you're going to want to use a spatula at home when you get to this point. So see here, and this is really hot, so I'm not screaming because I'm a very good actor. As you can see the steam, and this side now we're going to flip it over. And so now you just flip it here and flip it one more time until you've got lovely brown spots. All right, so the tortilla is browned on both sides. It's quite warm. And let's just do another one just to see. What I like to do is keep them warm inside a kitchen towel or a napkin and set them aside as you go through the whole stack. If you really love your guests, you'll keep doing this all night long, and you'll be standing here and pumping out tortillas. But the realistic thing is you're going to have to put them in some sort of tea towel or napkin and serve them, and some of them aren't going to be quite as warm. Again, see, it's actually this is great, I'm glad you saw this. So this is sticking on this side, so that I'm going to turn it around and do this again. And see, I still got a whole one, so I was able to save it. And just to show you too, say something ripped on here, it's nothing to worry about, just quickly do another circle. You can see this is well used, my tortilla press. There. And I'm going to go, just to show you, I'm going to go really fast so you can see that you can get this thing going. Because otherwise you're going to be sitting here all night. But as you get good at it. 3. And that's why it also is handy to have them all pre-done. Otherwise you'd be sitting here rolling balls. All right. And right as that's just about done, this first one, the edges are starting to come up, so I'm going to flip that and continue until I'm done with the whole thing. And with that, we have a nice stack of corn tortillas, and it was that easy, made with masa harina.